A couple of guys up on 90 were giving him some feedback, and I had borrowed a test mule, a pre-built version of it, and put it through its paces here at VJB Radio, and was quite impressed by it. And I think Ed has accomplished a lot by having built one himself and put it on the air here too. So that's what we were up to. Very good on the Ranger. Not the best signal right now, 11 o'clock. I don't know why the band doesn't have... Oh, probably because I'm listening in Vermont. Let me go over to Maryland here, where you're likely... You were quite good at home, but that's in the other room. The receiver here at home, the ITT McKay's in the other room, but I heard the speaker. You gave me a call on that, and I'm still listening to the Vermont node here on Ed, which was, for some reason, a little more favorable from his location in Delaware. And for DJ, when I was at the University of Maryland station, W3EAX, the Student Government Association paid for a brand new sea line for the station. And we took delivery on it directly from the factory, right from Miamisburg. And I remember specifically making sure that we ordered an AM filter. And I'm not sure if that was on the transmit side or the receive side, because I don't remember how those rigs are set up. I do know that they have a scheme in the transmitted audio that bounces the carrier up and down with amplitude as a way of reducing the duty cycle on the final tubes, Don. And one of the first mods we did on that was to lock that carrier down, because we intended to feed an SP220 amplifier with it anyway on AM. So we didn't need that carrier bouncing up and down and ruining the reception of people trying to listen to us. I understood why they did it, but not for us. And I don't remember the passband of the R4C, but I also don't remember it being pinched either. So maybe it was adequate, like you found with your 2B. I know we also had an HQ180 that somebody had donated. It sounded awful on AM. It really did not have an adequate passband at all. So we always defaulted to a national NC303 that had a far more generous passband on AM, and was just much nicer to listen to. So there's a range of other receivers that I was experienced with. And I wonder if you've been up on 10 meters. You mentioned that activity back when. Cycle 25 is coming and going every so often. I'll look up there on the waterfall display on the internet-based receivers to see who might be lighting it up. And I've worked a number of stations with just the basic FT10 so that it stays up there, high modulation index, the entire time you're making a transmission. And that's good, because when you go into a fade, and you've done that a couple of times now, the audio makes the day, because it stays in there and it's still intelligible. I did not turn on any synchronous detection, which is available to me on the Kiwi SDR internet node that I'm listening to you on. That would have overcome some of the fading distortion that turned up. But I wanted to hear it on its own, and it still stayed in there nice and intelligently. So intelligibly? Intelligently is a matter of intellect. And that's not what I meant. I meant intelligible, as in recovered information. And it sounds fine. I'll reciprocate with a recording that I made, as a matter of fact. Yeah, well, I had heard that the R4C was more likely to suffer overload from strong nearby signals than the R4 Baker previously had done. And as a result, some people found the R4B the better receiver, that the R4C was not an improvement when it came to its own immunity to strong adjacent signals.
Audio processor, its formal name, was developed and marketed by Rick and Clark. It naturally occurred to me to call it the Rick and Clarker. Well, I had one that was factory built, and I put it through its paces here that I think you were part of, giving me some feedback, and thank you again. And this morning we had Ed on here, K3PTX, who has built one from kit form.